That's it. Tickety Boo News. So here's a story I just love. Baby Oliver, right? Baby Oliver. Now, you've heard these stories from the UK, and I lived in the UK for many years. There's a picture. Is that picture going up? What a cute little baby. So there's a picture of Baby Oliver. Baby Oliver is in the UK. You've heard these stories in the UK where basically the courts have said, we're not going to save this baby. Take the life support off the baby. And the baby died. And when the parents said, let us go to another country where we can get health care for the baby, they said no, and they wouldn't let them leave. And that is the end result of Obamacare. That is the end result of socialized medicine. Well, the parents of Baby Oliver took their kid to the National Health, and the National Health came running on there with two horses. They had two horses on their carriage. So, because this is what the National Health is like. It's like getting 19th century healthcare. But the horses arrived and they took a look. The baby had a tumor, a non-cancerous tumor on his heart. And the doctors arrived with their stethoscopes and their horses and their carriages, and they said, no, there's nothing that can be done. They didn't have the doctors with the right expertise. But then they called Boston Children's Hospital, and they said, yeah, we've done this. We have actually gotten rid of these tumors. What they wanted to do in the UK is wait for a heart transplant, which never comes for babies because it's just very rare that you get a baby heart. So the parents said, we want to go to Boston. They raised the money themselves. And because the NHS wouldn't pay for it, they went to Boston. The doctors in Boston removed this tumor, and the baby seems to be doing really well. Let us hope and pray the baby continues to do well. What I love about this story, though, was that everything they did required capitalism and freedom. They raised the money themselves. They didn't use the NHS. They came to people and they said, give us some money. We need some money to help the baby. You take a look at that face, you give the baby some money, right? That's what you do when you see a baby's face like that. And because our medical care is more advanced, because we know more, because we're not dependent on the government to pay for our medical care, and because they can make all those terrible profits that everybody complains about, we have better R&D, we have better, health care here. Then we really do have great health care here. And there are problems. They can be smoothed out. I think we do need some government intervention, but not the kind that the left wants. This is a perfect story. And really, they had to teach people in Britain to worship the NHS. It is virtually what they have instead of God. They worship the NHS. They had to teach them that so they wouldn't want to give it up. So every time a politician said, give it up, just like when people talk about reforming Social Security here, it's stepping on the third rail. They ought to get rid of it. They ought to scrap it, have a bottom, rung of care, and then have tiers of care that you can buy your way up through the glories of capitalism. All right, that's it. We got a great interview. We're going to interview Congressman Gates tomorrow. Yeah, it was a terrific interview. Really, really interesting. Said some things I hadn't heard before, and I think you'll really want to hear it. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is The Andrew Klavan Show, and we will see you then. Oh, hooray, hurrah. The Andrew Klavan Show is produced by Robert Sterling. Executive producer, Jeremy Boring. Senior producer, Jonathan Hay. Our supervising producer is Mathis Glover. And our technical producer is Austin Stevens. Edited by Emily Jai. Audio is mixed by Mike Cormina. Hair and makeup is by Jesua Alvera. The Andrew Klavan Show is a Daily Wire Forward Publishing production. Copyright Forward Publishing 2018.